Rolling, 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 keep the puppies rolling. Hi guys, welcome back again. We had a massive cleanup we did before that. Now we're going to work into a fish stock and make a fish veloute. Right, so once again, it's a white stock. If we swing the camera over, actually lift it up. Probably go over here. Okay, we need fish bones, leeks, right? The départ, young pa, celery. Same ratio's the same, right? Mushroom peelings. Now I have some little pieces of mushroom left over from the other class, which you save. That's for sure. Dry white wine. Dry meaning not sweet. Water. Regular sachet de spice, and then stay there. Once again, this is my sachet de spice. It's all, I keep it the same in all of them. That's pretty much standard anyway. Rinse the bones, combine everything, bring the stock to a boil, reduce, simmer, skim, simmer, 15-20 minutes, which is actually a little long. In 10 minutes you can get away with it, strain and cool. Now notice, mirepoix and spices can be sweated in oil. That is what I put in because when say cooking time, 10 minutes doesn't, swing over here now. 10 minutes doesn't really bring a lot of the flavor out of this. It's simmering. So I like sweating the mirepoix and sachet de spice ahead of time. We don't use green in the stock because of color. That's for sure. We don't really use it much at all. You guys eat it a lot more. This is pretty dead celery. But it's perfect for stocks. That's for sure. I cut off the ugly ends. A lot of chefs don't, but you don't use the leaves. Nobody uses the leaves. Except for you guys, for Sam, which is very bitter.
Oh.
Yeah, wow. I like it. Mindalay. Mindalay grows in my garden. We don't eat it in the West, but my wife picks it.
And make kimchi with that.
Well, we just salt and just have it in salads, even like Western style salads. But I like it now, and it's a similar flavor. It's a very bitter, drying flavor. All right, mirepoix should be rough cut. You don't have to cut it small. Now, actually, this is a lot of mirepoix for what we got going on here. Here's a sachet de spice. Got everything there. I could use a little more parsley. Once again, maybe I'm parsley crazy, but I do like the flavor of parsley. I think it's very important. Same with thyme. And what are we missing?
Fish.
These are fish. Now, the fish is for another class, but the bones aren't. We don't need the bones. So it works out quite well. This was the Jogyo delivered earlier. Very nice fish. What I'm going to do is clean all the bones. This is a sole. This is actually not a flounder. Flounder, Kasami, sole is, you can tell by the eyes. When this is a baby, it swims like this. And the eyes are on two sides. As it gets older, the eye actually moves across and it becomes a flatfish. Weird little creature. All right, so I'm going to lift up this fin. You can feel the stomach right there. So you're going to cut along this line right here. Take out the guts. I don't know what do you call these?
Agami.
Again, we take those off. I don't know if you make Korean stocks, you take that out?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Well, you guys you don't really make, it seems like the only fish used for stocks is mochi. Mochi.
멸치.
Yeah, that's all you seem to use for stocks. The big difference between Western cooking and Korean cooking too is that we don't serve fish bones at the table. We always cut out the bones. This is hard to get out. This is never found easy. They say it gives a bitter flavor. Bitter. 한국말 bitter.
쓰다.
Silda. Yeah. I should know that. Take out this part of the guts. This is nice fish, nice and fresh. But that runs in a little deep down there. We'll get it later when we cut it out. My other knife. Here's the English name is lateral line. It's on both sides. That's their ears. That's how fish hear. These are very sensitive to. You see fish jump and that kind of thing. That's actually how they feel through there. But we can use that as a guide to cut our fillets out. Cut like chicken, cut right to the bone, not cutting hard, using the tip of the knife, and now I'm pushing it down like this. Almost like the same thing like a chicken. Up, up, and down. I made a little mistake there, but not a bad one. And we'll clean this off later. Hold it this way. This is always, the top part is always the best fillet. The bottoms are not so good. Same thing here, just light pressure. Just cut down, don't cut through the bones. You want to cut right just down to them. That's really ugly. Don't worry about it. This got these little pin bones we'll take care of. I'm okay cleaning fish, but you used to see professionals, fish people, they're very good at this. So cutting and pulling, cutting and pulling, cutting and pulling. Nice bone. A little gogi there, that happens. I'm gonna just do one fish so I don't have a lot of time here. Let's do a nice, just kind of scratching it. I'm not cutting it because there's meat underneath there. You don't want to take out the meat. I don't know what this is really. What body part? Maybe egg? Maybe. Kind of looks like it. Could be. But we don't want it in our stock or saute. Take off any of the bones, these little pin bones. This can go into stock. Too dull. Now in Korea, when you're eating at a restaurant, you get a fish bone, it's okay. You guys just spit it out on the table and keep going. A lot of Westerners
really don't like fish bones. They really don't. They'll complain about it. That's a bad cut. It's the top part. It's got these pin bones here. We try our best to take out the bones in that way. Not for stock. I felt something right there. Put these on the side. Actually, I'll put these on ice while we pay attention to the stock. Now, the fish is for another class, and I'm just going to use a small amount of bones. Because you're supposed to use a lot of bones, and I just... Once again, this is a bonus. I think we're going to sweat the mirepoix. This is a lot of mirepoix. Yeah, I use all of it. No carrots. Because it's a white mirepoix. It's up there. It's a white mirepoix. That's some mushroom pieces, the stems, some broken pieces that I just chopped up to what it was left over. That's the basil. Be careful about that. Once again, mirepoix and sashaying the spices, not garbage cans. This improves the flavor of the stock a lot. Traditionally, you don't sweat it, but the short cooking time, I think, requires it. The head, once again, has been cleaned. Not good. Don't want to brown the mirepoix, so be careful. Sweat the bones a bit, but once again, don't give it any color. It's a very small amount of bones, really a small amount. It's not going to have the flavor that you really want, but it's good for learning purposes. Once again, 3 fish at least, this amount of water would be good. Oh, can you get the roux? I'm going to put the roux back. We didn't need that. We didn't need it. Okay. Let's go back to the cutting board. We're going to let that cook now for some time. I'm going to take the skin off the fish, because we don't generally serve the skin. All right, so what you do is you bring the board to the edge here. Thank you. I'm holding it with my finger like this, actually digging my fingernail into it. And just left, right. Then grab the skin and moving both knife and skin, just remove the skin off. Now some chefs use this in stock, but you have to make sure that there's no scales on it. This has scales on it, so we're not going to use that in stock. Because even this, well, that will clean out any scale. Pretty easy. If you miss, maybe I'll miss. I hope not. It's a pain. It really is. You could, if I go this way and you break it, you flip it over and you go that way. So what I'm doing is actually from tail to head. I don't know if that makes a difference. In the Italy class, we use a lot of fish because Italy does use a lot of fish anyway. We'll be cleaning a lot of fish. Have you ever cleaned fish before, like this? Have you done that before? What class?
Learning class for certificate.
For its certificate license.
Yeah.
Have you done this? No. Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is really kind of really a Western thing. Just kind of clean it. You know, where it was created, you just chop up the fish and throw it in the jjigae. Off you go. Keep it fresh and cold. I'm gonna bring that to a boil. Bring stock to boil, reduce heat to slow skim is needed. Not a lot of skimming going on. There's not a lot of fat. That's for sure. But I usually sweat it now. I was taught not to sweat. Put everything in at the same time and cook it that way. And one of the chefs I work for, he's always sweated it. And it makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Ooh.
How about that? Who knows? Okay. Don't stir stock. I was just pushing everything down. We'll let that cool boil, clean this up. We don't really need that. Can you give me another one? Another cutting board? Okay, let's see what we got. We got shallots, so we need a little garlic. It's very hard to clean the fish scales off everything. That's why I changed the boards. You can't really just wipe it down. What kind of sauce? Oh, there's some dill in there.
Yeah.
You saw the dill? It's like just one piece. That was left over the gravlax, which was the French cooking. To boil now, just to low simmer. Yeah, it's just, yeah, right. Well, I'm glad I saved it. The dill is very nice. It makes a very nice fish sauce. That's a lot of garlic for a little fish. There we go. Look at the stock. All right. Nice. Active simmer. It's a pretty active simmer. But it's not boiling. in the freezer is the butter. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Surprisingly good. I put the butter in the freezer. Because when you're doing any kind of butter sauce, if butter's too warm, it'll break. It'll always break, so. Nembe. Shay. Say we could have put fish skin in here because this will pick up the scales. This is very, very fine. Just look up there. You can see that nothing really gets through that. It's a great strainer. What else? We got white wine. That's going to go in the stock. Which we can add now. I bring it to a boil first and I add this. A little acid helps. If I bring it to a boil, then add it. Because once it's such a short cooking time, you see even the vegetables are, they're just blanched at this point. They're still crispy. Celery, good. You like celery? Celery? Do you like it?
No.
You guys don't like it. It's so important in Western cooking. I can't tell you how important it is. Well, when I was working in Daegu, we couldn't, back in the day, celery was hard to get. So we're making stocks and stuff without celery. And soups without celery, and things like that. And it just didn't taste right. Now it's pretty common. And in America, it's very cheap. This is dill. It's a little dead, but in the French cooking class, we use this for the gravlax, which will be another video. You'll see that I used a lot of that. Cody, not for stocks. Very, very, I don't know what, very strong.
Oh.
No, it's good. No, it's not it's a good that's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to do a dill lemon butter sauce. Same method, right? Which is step one, what? Season. Step two.
Cut to
Dredge.
a dredge piece.
Right. Step three.
Put
We
the
gotta go
oil.
home now. Saute the fish, or the
Saute.
meat, whatever the
Yeah.
meat is, right? Then sweat onions and garlic, or whatever the recipe really calls for. Next step, deglaze.
Deglaze.
Garnish, which will be, always fresh herbs at the end. So basically we're gonna deglaze, add our prepared sauce, which we're gonna work on now, which is gonna be a velouté, but it's this fish stock velouté, which is called the fume, by the way. We always say fish stock. A lot of times fish stock is a good term. It is, but the real term is called the fume, fish fume, or just fume. A lot of times, just for simplicity, fish stock, you understand quite clearly what that is. Okay, I think we've gone long enough on this. They could go a little longer, obviously, but let's go over here. You can see a lot of the fish blood and stuff like that. It's not very clear, but it's enough. That looks nice. Looks like a nice stock. Now with the other one, I push through. You don't want to push this through, because this meat can be pushed through. The stock should be fairly clear, so. I'm gonna move this, watch out. I'm gonna move this back burner. See how this burns really yellow? That makes the pot dirty. Now, since we just made this, you really don't have to worry about bringing it to a boil, but if I took this out of the refrigerator, it was made yesterday or 2 days ago or 3 days ago, and about 3 days is as far as you want fish stock to be in there. Bring it to a rolling boil. You can see a little oil on the surface here. Remember dépilage? Well, you'll see that term too in the Chuseok video, Chuseok Week video. A lot of study there. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just taking off the chunkies, the big pieces. They say too, like, this is a fresh stock and you don't have to worry about bacteria or anything like that. But they say never taste a cold stock. Heat it up and then taste it. If it's sour, then you throw it out. They say if you taste it when it's cold, you won't tell. So I'm not sure. Well, pre-made roux. You guys made this roux. Little by little. Once again, stainless steel pot, much better. Even sounds better. Aluminum pots. This is very smooth sounding. That's a big ball of roux. You see, kicking around there. You gotta watch out for that. That's why I'm breaking it up with my hands as much as possible. Same cooking time, at least 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Some cookbooks say 30 minutes, things like that, whatever the chef says. But I'm saying at least 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes. 15's good. Watch out for reduction. Play nice. That might be enough. We're gonna let it come up to temperature. There's no seasoning in this. It's always good to taste. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's probably good. Maybe a little more seasoning. Bring it to a boil, see what happens. I'm very surprised how much fish flavor is there. That at the end. We don't really need any thyme or parsley. We could use a little parsley, nothing wrong with that. Parsley and lemon's good. Grab a little zest. Zest has a nice flavor. What you have to do is cut off this white part. The white part doesn't taste good at all. I did have a zester. There's actually a tool that's made for that. But you see, you can take off all the white. I thought rain again. No, it's somebody with a cart. So you take off all the white. Checking the veloute. That looks fine. Julienne, very fine. It'll be part of our garnish. This we can cook out a little. You don't want to put too much, you don't want too big, because you want it How's that look? You see that? Yeah, you want it pretty small, light, thin. Because if it's thick, well, I think you guys understand what a lemon tastes like. I'm gonna turn this up a little. No, that's fine. It's very nice, actually. Turn it down a little. I could use a little less water when I made the stock too. I maybe add a little too much water to it. Not a big crime, but it's pretty. I'm pretty impressed with this taste. It's very nice. You want to try it? Not strong like the chicken stock, because the chicken stock was really good. This was only one fish bone, one head, right? But it has that taste to it, which is good. And you don't want to, at least in Western cooking, you want fish, but you don't want fishy flavor. Like when you do like a mochi kumu or something like that, it has a very fishy taste. And to you guys, it's very normal, and it's nothing wrong with it. It's just we have different cultural ideas about fish. That's for sure. We don't eat as much. Fry pan. Thank you. Use the olive oil. Now I transferred the flour to a big pan, or a big plate. I had it in a little bowl for a little chicken, but something like fish, you're gonna need something fairly large. Season. Now the chicken breast, you can marinate that too. I didn't marinate anything like that. Some chefs put fish in milk, uyu. They dredge it to uyu. They say it gets rid of the bad smell. I don't know if it does or not. It makes a nicer coating though. It does. Check my pan. It should be ready. Throw a little flour in. How it reacts. It's called reacting. Ready to go. But it's not burning. Skin side down. Or skin side up. This is inside, this is the outside. Outside, inside. Doesn't matter that much per se, but it depends how many stars are on your menu, that's for sure. Make sure you get oil on everything so it browns nicely. Okay, we'll just run this out. Now fish, you got to be a little careful because it breaks easy. Turning down the sauce. That's reduced enough. This protein on the top here, don't worry about that. You can just stir that in. It'll dissolve. Oh, that's nice. Nappe. Very nice. So fish will break fairly easy, so you gotta, I was looking for even a better, longer one. Best thing to just turn it once. What's that? Likey, part of the trimming. Nice shot, chef. You yelled at me that. Both of them turned off. I tell you, honestly, these stoves, you guys, these stoves are the hardest things to get used to. So you got two bottoms, two tops, right? Bottoms, tops. What's interesting in Korea too is that you guys eat like chobap and gui, raw fish and things like that. But when it comes to seiwu, you kill it when you cook it. You boil it for a long time and things like that. I find that very unusual. That you eat raw shrimp, but when it comes to cooking it in class, if we have it any time in class, they would do like shrimp scampi, Italian style, garlic, butter, and things like that. They cook it to death. They're like, no, lightly cook it, lightly cook it. So I don't know if you do that with fish, like something like in this case. Break that one. Take it out one at a time. Flip it over. Over. I put it back together, kind of fish style. Next step.
Sweat.
Sweat. Gonna be there. Yeah, a lot of garlic this time. A little warm, a little hot. Okay. And you add the zest. This is called zest. Z-E-S-T. Z-E-S-T. Like I said, there's a lot of flavor in there. But too much, too big is not good. Let that sweat a little. White wine, deglaze. And like with the other sauce, lemon goes in at the end. Make sure you pop the seeds out. The lemon and dill together. And a little parsley so it doesn't look so lonely. Not a lot of dill. Next step, what? Guys, make me crazy. What's the next step?
Put the velouté.
Right, add your prepared sauce. And today we use a velouté, but it could be bechamel, it could be demi-glace, it could be, well, not demi-glace, it's a fish, that's for sure. But it definitely could be tomato. And then not hollandaise, you wouldn't do that with hollandaise. No reduction needed there, that's for sure. Just seasoning, which is very plain. That's why I was with the A team when we were doing the in sauce class, and we did a variation of this, similar, and they just didn't understand. I was like, no, you guys got to understand this. I do this in a lot of my classes, and you're going to do a lot of this in hotels. That's for sure. Plus, you can do it at home. There's a lot of very simple stuff to do. Next step, what?
Put the cream.
Right, cream. And since our garnish is the dill and lemon juice, I guess the juice is really considered a garnish. If you cook the dill, it will change color, and you really don't want that brown color. This is a lot of shallots. And you see that all the other sauce has been much smoother. Just had a choice. I'll take a big piece of butter because we're doing a lemon butter sauce. It's a little too hard. I'm being in the freezer. But too hard's better than too soft. Tilt the pan, get it down there so you can swirl everything together. You can see this butter much harder than the last time. So probably percentage-wise, the butter is probably about 25% of this sauce is butter, which is an expensive sauce. All these sauces are expensive. Obviously, the bones and cooking time. But once again, your skill. Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice already. I'm very surprised at that. Now, when you're doing like lemon sauces or anything like that, you should make, when you're just seasoning, make sure there's enough salt in it because lemon will make it not salty. It'll take away the edge. Especially with seafood, you want. Yeah, very nice. Check it one more time. Took out the seeds. Once again, acid and cream, acid and butter can be a problem. That's why I suggest you guys always turn off the heat, because you see that's nice. And off you go. Sauce should flow. Nearly 5 minutes. Cooking time, really. I mean, when you have all your mise en place together, it doesn't take long at all. Okay, so we did a lot today. A lot of it's review. You guys got to remember, it is all review. It's a ladder. Things that we do, we make stocks in the beginning. And my last class you with me, you're going to make stocks there. We're always going to be doing this kind of stuff. Making roux. Keep the basics going, okay? Thank you very much. Oh, my hat's a mess. Look at it. Okay, thank you very much. And take care. Happy Chuseok. And see you later.